Hello and welcome to the Fat Boss Guide to Lei Shi 25-man heroic in the Terrace of the Endless Springs.
Hello.
Yes, and this fight hasn't really changed too much at all. It's got like one new little cool mechanic that we're going to cover in a little bit, which is lovely. It's all scary, foggy, which is good, but otherwise not too much.
Now, if you haven't seen our normal mode guide for this encounter, please do click up on the screen on your annotation now, and that'll take you to that guide, and you can just refresh yourselves. Or if you already know them, you don't need to, obviously, but yeah, click on that, it will save some time.
Now for this fight you want to bring 2 or 3 tanks, we'll cover that in a little bit. 5 healers should be enough and rest DPS, of course mobile range DPS being really good, or just general mobile DPS because of the getaway, and also some very quick hard CCs are awesome. Now as we said, Lei Shi hasn't changed that much at all. She still does the spray on the tanks, which you need to switch for the first time in about 8 or 10, and then whenever, because the stacks get progressively higher and higher because of her afraid buff she gets, where she's casting quicker and quicker depending on the percentage health she has. She still has 2 specials, hide and getaway, both of which needs to be dealt with in the exact same way, either AoE in the room until you find her, or nuking the shit out of her while running against the pushback. Now it is very important that you do run against the pushback here, so you can't just sit against those 2 little things and nuke her. If you don't run against it, you'll probably die instantly, so that's never good. Now she still does protect at the 20% intervals, so at 80%, 60%, 40% and 20%. Now you definitely need to do hard CC, or you can kite them with slows on the ads if you want to put down a taunt banner or anything like that, however you dealt with it, but basically if anyone gets hit, it's bad, so every single ad needs to be CC'd apart from the one that you are killing.
Yeah, the ads hit ridiculously hard on heroic, and essentially if there's any loose ones, you're going to wipe, more or less. Unless you save all your battle reses, but yeah, it's important that you get really good with your CC. Warlocks are the strongest, really. Banish.
Elemental
really
are good
pro.
as well,
Ellie's good. But all your main CC works, fear works, stun works, fucking use everything just to make sure that no one gets hit.
Now apart from this, there is one main change to the fight as we mentioned earlier, which basically helps you with every single aspect of the fight, which is scary fog. Now when you pull Lei Shi, you will notice that she has some fat circle of fog around her. If you are outside the circle, then you gain stacks of scary fog. Each stack of scary fog deals ticking damage and places a circle around you. It's like similar to Lei Shi's one, but smaller. Now anyone in that circle of yours, both players and mobs, will take 10% extra damage per stack. This does not apply to the person who has the actual scary fog stack. So say you have the scary fog stack and you're on like 14 stacks or something, you won't be taking 140% extra damage, but anyone in it, including the boss or anyone else like the tanks, will also be taking 140% extra damage. The whole idea of this is just to make sure that Lei Shi, because the enrage time it is really quite close, that Lei Shi has a ridiculous amount of stacks pretty much throughout the whole fight, and this is the key to dealing with this fight successfully. What you need to do is have a rotation of 2 highly mobile range DPS, like hunters and mages are really good because they can get to the boss really quickly. These DPS will be outside of the circle gaining scary fog stacks and then running in and standing next to Lei Shi, giving her the big damage debuff. Now you want to be doing this at about 8 to 10 stacks each time you run in, and you can either wait inside till your stacks drop, because of course that helps with healers because you are taking a progressively higher tick, or you can run out and refresh your stacks if the other person has a very low stack. So you never really want the boss to be like left out when he has really low stacks, so you have to kind of make the call between it.
And if both players have high stacks at the same time, then it's a lot of extra healing and you probably won't cope with it. So it's a good idea to keep people around the 10 stack mark. If you can do more than 10 stacks, then make sure that the other person doesn't have that many stacks. You just need to make sure that they don't die. If they die, it's a wipe because you don't have any stacks then.
Exactly.
And the boss will be, it's just a pain in the arse.
Now when you do run in, it is important that the raid is positioned in like such a way that the scary fog stackers can't apply the debuff to any other players, and they can apply it to the boss. So you just need to leave a gap. You can put a marker down or whatever, but you need to leave a gap so you can get that debuff on the boss and not the players. It doesn't matter too much in the normal phases if it's on any other players, as long as it's not on the tanks, because the tanks should be the only ones taking any damage during this phase, so that doesn't matter too much. Now in regards to the 2 range stackers, that's all you want them to do. Normally you will just start your rotation after the first special and protect, as then you'll have a high enough stacks really. Now along with these 2 stackers, you want to have 1 tank stacking. Now this is why you want to bring the 3 tanks. This is like the 3 tank tactic. If not, you'll just have 3 ranged DPS kind of doing this. Now, there is some really, really cool benefits of having 1 tank stack. One of the benefits is that when Protect comes up, the tank at this point, not for the first Protect, but for every one after, the tank at this point should have 20 stacks, which is the cap. They will then be the tank that picks up the ad that you're going to kill. This means that that ad will be taking 200% extra damage and will just explode, making this phase go really, really quickly.
And generally, this is the point in the fight that you'll probably have the most difficulty with, the Protect, so using this 1 tank, just getting all these stacks really, really helps.
Now, the Scary Fog tank is also amazing for when Getaway comes in. What the tank will do is just run over to the boss and give him the debuff, which should give him about 200% extra damage taken. Now, this is just an amazing... If the boss is taking 200% extra damage and it's during the Getaway will last like no time at all, which
means no one will take any damage.
Yeah.
However, when this does happen, everyone needs to be extremely careful that they don't stand within the tank's ring, because if you're taking 200% extra damage yourself, the players, your raid generally take 200% extra damage during Getaway, you're going to die almost instantly. So yeah, that's something you need to watch out for. Now, the best tank for this really, if you have a selection of tanks to choose from, is Warriors. Warriors are fantastic because they can charge the boss, they can use their leap to get on the boss. They're just all-round great tanks for this particular mechanic of keeping that shit up on the boss. So if you have a warrior able to do it, then use a warrior. However, any tank can use it really. I mean, if you're going to get a paladin to do it, they can just get speed increases and stuff like that, or ferals have charges.
Yeah,
Death Knights have their own speed increases, and monks, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what monks do?
But monks can probably do something. So yeah.
Now, the Scary Fog tank can also cover for when the 2 ranged DPS, like, you know, those 2 ranged Scary Fog stackers, if they don't have a high stack, so, like, say both of you manage to fuck it up, then the tank's at the side with 200%, like, oh yeah, I can take it for a little bit. Just make sure that you are looking at DBM so you do refresh it, and DBM has a tendency to be a little bit, like, behind sort of thing, so don't, like, always leave about 3 seconds on the timer to get out, because it can be a bit sketchy. Now, as I said before, you do not have to do it with the extra tank, but there are just so many more benefits for doing it with the extra tank, really.
And because the extra tank really is only taking damage from the ticking damage, I mean, he'll take damage from the ad as well during the phase, but like it's not hard to have your cooldowns up for most of those phases, or if not all of those phases. He'll never take the boss. The tank doesn't need to be particularly well geared, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So bringing an extra tank, it shouldn't be really problematic, especially because you're a 25-man guild. Yeah. So we do recommend bringing a 3rd tank, but you don't have to.
Yeah, if you do bring 3 ranged DPS, and during times like Protect, you'll just get the one with the highest stacks to go and stand next to it, making sure they don't stand on the tank. And during Getaway, you just get your most mobile one, like if you have a Hunter, which is quite good because they can do everything on the move because they're overpowered. You'd get them to stand on the boss, but preferably just the one with the highest stacks.
And essentially, just to wrap up the fight, it's just all about your stacks, making sure you keep your stacks, making sure you use your stacks at the right times. And that's more or less it. Very, very simple. Easy stuff.
So thank you for watching, guys. If this guide did help you out, then please do give us a thumbs up. It helps us out quite a lot. And make sure to comment, rate and subscribe.
And if you'd like to see other 25-man hero guides by FatBoss, please do click up on the annotations you see on your screen now. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.